Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic. Welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be jumping into this new collection tonight. Finally, it is Friday night. It's about 8:30, Labor Day weekend. So I'm anxious to jump into this collection, but I don't have a clue what I'm going to do. Not at all. I can share with you guys. I actually ordered a new devotional kit. This is called True North, and it is from By the Well for God. It's actually the September release, right? Yes, September. It is now September. I love By the Well for God's devotional kits. I order them frequently, although I did take a couple months off because I needed to do some catching up on the ones I had. I was like, okay, you don't need every single one, Lynette. You have some that you need to work through. But when I saw that their September devotional release, now my kit is August. I know that it just got to those of you who ordered it, but that's okay. Yeah, with the coronavirus and everything just gets pushed back a little bit, but that's okay. The idea is there that it is a monthly release. I do have one coming up for September. We actually just got started on it, but it's probably going to be toward the middle, possibly toward the end of September. I don't know. We're just, going with the flow here, right? When I saw that their devotional kit was nautical themed, it was a sign that I had to buy it, right? I'm just like, oh, yay. I'm so excited. Now I know what I will be using my anchored collection for, which, by the way, when you guys look at my journal, I get the, scratch and dent, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind. I was figuring out some things there and didn't want that journal to go to waste. But yes, True North, Navigating Life's Storms. How beautiful is that art? Anyone who may be interested, I think these are still available. If not, they will be restocked. They usually do. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. Look at how gorgeous. It always comes with ephemera and stickers. Of course, the devotional. I ordered a few extras. I'm actually still waiting on some of the stamps, but even if you don't want the devotional kit, you can get this awesome wave stencil. How awesome is that? And the stamp sets. I think this lowercase alphabet is what came with the kit. And then I ordered, because I got them on release day, I got got them on sale. And I loved this rope journaling spot, that rope cross. And I'm actually waiting on a couple more of the stamp sets, but I'm super excited. So I'm not sure how much decorating I want to do ahead of time. And then when you order early, you always get this little free pack. So that's always awesome. And if you're like one of the first 100, like if you order them during pre-release sale at the beginning of, when they're releasing the kit, if you're one of the first 100, you get this little stamp set. And I actually lucked out this time and was able to score that. So if you see me using some of the stamps and stencils along the way, I'm not sure how many videos I'll be able to get out with this kit because I have some other things I really want to film as well. But that is how I'm planning on using my anchored collection, and it couldn't be more perfect. I know one of the things I want to do probably in the next video is create some nautical tags. I love to make journaling tags. In my mind, I want to try to make some tags with a lot of texture, yet still fit them in the book. I know that's always a challenge for me, is getting them to fit in the book. But I thought it might be fun to do something here in the front of the book. Sometimes I'm intimidated by the front of the book, but today I'm feeling like I might be able to just make it happen. I know there is a library pocket in here. It's so crazy to think it's really the last hurrah of summer this weekend, Labor Day weekend. We usually, I might put it over here this time. I've never done that. A library pocket belongs on the cover. Who says? Who says, right? But I love that. I love how that water is peeking up over there. Anyway, I'm jumping all over the place in conversation. Sorry, you guys. I feel like I haven't spoken to you in forever. Yes, the last hurrah of the summer. That's what Labor Day weekend has always been for me to some extent. And this summer, we usually go to a Volkswagen event where we take our camper van and we're part of a car show. Okay, it's like, it's so funny because there used to be a Porsche car show on the weekend that became Volksfest. It's in a town close to us and it's such a different crowd. We all have Volkswagens from the 60s, 70s, 80s that are not in perfect condition, you know. So it's just kind of funny to call it a car show, but really it's this feel good, awesome experience with all of these Volkswagen owners that come together with their various makes and models. And then the public can just peruse them and ask questions about them and see them. And I always love decorating the bus all bohoed out and just having a lot of fun with it. But of course that was canceled this year. There was no Volksfest. And I'm actually really missing it because it was a lot of fun. And then a group of us who knew each other from other venues would get together and camp overnight at a local park. But so sad. It's so sad to miss out on that. All right, let's decorate this library pocket. So I'm trying not to make this overcomplicated for myself, but I thought I would share with you guys some of the things that have been in my mind when it comes to this project. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off, but you guys, that's, you know, it's pretty typical for me. Who knows what direction I'll end up going. But one of the things that I love about nautical in my mind is texture. When I think about nautical, I think about things being washed up on the beach. And I know that it's usually gross and stinky, but there is a romantic thought to it, isn't there? Like the message in the bottle, or even just the textures and the different smells of the ocean or the lake, wherever. I live by Lake Michigan. I don't live by the ocean, but I do know that they each have a very distinctive smell to them, right? And that might gross out some of you, but I am a water girl. I love it. I always have. I think I was born a fish. So yes, I love being in the water. I always have. So I think of texture. I think of the graininess of the sand, the feeling of that water, whether it's salty or fresh water, and of course the different fabric textures. So this is Creepy Cloth from the Dollar Tree, and I shared this in a previous video. In case you missed that, I'll give a little glimpse of it here. You can find this right now in the Halloween section, and the great thing about it, it is not stark white. They actually on the receipt call it tea stained, which I think is pretty cool, right? So it has that tea stained appearance. I actually used it here on the cover, and yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. There is also cheesecloth. The cheesecloth that I have is actually a very good deal. It's a great price. You get a ton of it. It lasts forever. It's something that I purchased on Amazon. I'll link it down below if I can find it, because it really is a great deal, even compared to that which we would get at Dollar Tree. You just get so much. And this is white, but I can, you know, tea stain, coffee stain, ink stain it up. And what I like about this one is it is a looser weave as well. I kind of like that looser weave cheesecloth. I know there's one that is a little tighter, but I really like this one. And then you can get like a gauze bandage. And this is another type of fabric and texture. So this is a tighter weave, you can see there, but it also has its distinct pattern. So that's another fun thing you can pick up if you're in the first aid section of the store. And then of course I didn't pull mine out, but there's burlap. This is a sage green burlap that I have. There's all kinds of colors. There's even scrapbook paper that has burlap attached to it. And then I have this looser piece here that I know I'll probably pull out and play with along the way. This is a more natural colored canvas type linen. To me, any type of fabric that has that natural appearance is going to be great for any nautical project, and mixing them together is perfection. All right, so I also pulled out some of the fibers that came in the kit this month. Again, I just really tried with the textures and the colors. I just love that. So I'm not sure. I know that I can't really stitch on this pocket since I want to put a card in it, but I pulled those out just in case. I also pulled out a bunch of ink colors, and I don't know what I'll end up using at this point. I like to have sticker labels on the side of my ink pads. And yeah, I just pulled out things. I wanted a lighter brown, so I pulled out tea dye. I pulled out bundled sage for a green. I love the grays. So I pulled out weathered wood, which really has a very bluish hue to it. I don't know, at least in my mind. And then I pulled out this hickory smoke color. I pulled out Stormy Sky, one of my favorite Tim Holtz blues. And then just in case I want some darker ones, I pulled out Salty Ocean and Blueprint Sketch. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. But any blues, grays, greens are gonna work for any nautical project. So getting started. I know I typically have to glue this pocket on anyway, so I'm just going to adhere that down to my little work surface here. I'm going to use what I have on hand, which I would recommend you do as well if you're following along. But I love this Distress Collage medium. So I'm going to coat my pocket with that. I had kicked around the idea of using acrylic paints and doing a little bit of movement with water with that. But I think I don't want to use too much water on this pocket because I am going to use the stickiness on the back. But then again, I'm still going to use water a little bit. Just not as much as if I were painting and spraying to move the paint around. So I'm going to use Distress Crayons, I think, because what I appreciate about them is I can move them around with the water, but they will become permanent when they dry, which acrylic paint does as well. My inks do not. That's why I'm not using my inks. And that's why I'm not using watercolor. And that's why I'm not using watercolor, because if I go back over it with any other medium and decide to get it wet again, it'll just muddy up. So I'm trying to use something that will be permanent when it dries. Also, if you're someone new to this whole mixed media type thing, if you don't have collage medium, which many of you don't, as I understand, you can use Mod Podge or you can use watered down school glue. Any type of, well, I'm not sure if any type of glue, but any type of water-based glue would work well for this, I have heard. All right, so one of the fun things about Distress Crayons is the fact that once you have that base of collage medium, you can move them with water. If you go straight onto the paper without the collage medium, I've also tried it on gesso. I know that gesso will work pretty well. I have not tried it on Mod Podge, but you could let me know if you have and if it works well. So I am going to hopefully create a little bit of a background. And you guys, if I sound like I know what I'm doing, I don't. We're going to see if this works out. It's just something that I like to play around with. And who knows how this is going to work out. I don't know. I'm just going to color with these a little bit. I don't know. I really like these more muted colors. Right now I am using Stormy Sky, Weathered Wood, and what did I pick up? Old Paper. We're gonna see what we think about this. And let's see if I can even really remember how to use these. It's been so long. All right, this is the Old Paper. And see how it just, the water can pick up the pigment so well on that collage medium. I just love it. And then where I didn't get it, it has that awesome texture there too that it leaves behind. I really like that. Like I can't budge that because there wasn't collage medium there. So that's one of the fun things about these crayons. I do really like that. See? So now I can see that I don't really need to be afraid of that pigment, and I can, it's a little more water than I wanted. I can really lay it down thicker than I have here so far. Maybe if I dab off my brush a little bit. And see, you can see those spots where I didn't have the collage medium very well. But I really like that effect that it has. And I'm just going to play around with this a little while. Lay down some pigment, dry the water, do it again. I really love old paper. It's actually one of my favorite distress colors, the ink pad especially, because, let me tell you why. I love how it has that aged look, but it has a green cast to it, and I just love that color. I really think it's one of my favorite distress colors. I'm going to go in a little more heavy-handed now that I know how this color plays. And I'm going to go over that blue just a little bit. And again, if you don't have distress crayons, you can use acrylic paints if you want it to be permanent. That would be my second choice. I would use acrylic paint. And if I didn't care about it being permanent, I don't really know what I would go over it with. But just in case I decide I want to, I would go with the acrylic paint. Just a cheap apple barrel watered down acrylic paint is beautiful. And then, you know, watercolors are great too if you don't care about them, if they're not going to be getting wet again. And I know it isn't much, but it is just so relaxing to do this kind of thing. I just love it. So I am definitely loving these colors. I hope they're coming through okay and my lights aren't washing them all out, but I definitely love the stormy sky. I added a little bit of peeled paint and the old paper. I did start off with the weathered wood, and I do love that color too, but that stormy sky blue is just perfect if you have some of those ink colors or something similar. Right, so I think my hot glue gun is heated up now. This is just a little piece of that creepy cloth from the Dollar Tree. I have some tea-stained cheesecloth bits, and I think because I added so much color to this pocket, I'm going to stick with neutral colors here with my fibers. And I also have this little scrap piece of netting that came out of the collection I might use here too. Now, I may be trying to do too much. That is a typical thing for me. Trying to add too much. So I think I'll stick with just the cheesecloth for now. Now, really, I would like to take some deeper colors so that that stands out a little bit more. Let's see. What about this hickory smoke? Let's see if this will do. So I'm going to start with a dry surface and just put a little bit of that ink on there. And then we can get that wet. And then we can ink up our cheesecloth. You just want to spread it around. And then we just want to dry it. I like that. I think I want to use this little punch that came in the kit. So let's see, what did I start with? I think it was that cheesecloth, right? In fact, I think I'm just going to use the piece of cheesecloth. I think I want something dark So I'm going to use this ground espresso to ink up the edges of this. And I just recently got these little daubers free from scrapbook.com for purchasing something. I'm going to try them out. Inking up this punch. All right. And I'm just going to use the hot glue this time because of that cheesecloth. Hopefully I like this because I sure made that decision really quick. I actually saw someone use one of these little silicone daubers for hot glue, and I thought that was genius. I'm just going to tack that up there so it doesn't budge. But I saw her using it so she didn't get it on her fingers. And that was the first time I had seen that, and I thought it was genius. This is a little silicone makeup brush that came from the Dollar Tree. My friend Jenny sent it to me. Thank you, Jenny. She sent it to me for using it on ink and paints and things. But when I saw that with the hot glue, I knew I had to try that immediately because I'm constantly burning myself with the hot glue. I also picked up the sticker book, the little 4x6 sticker book from Simple Stories, and there are some shells in here. I think I'll just keep it flat for now. Knowing me, I get pretty dimensional down the road anyway. Hopefully they're all right on that background. If I just put that there, and there are some words in here, little tiny phrases. And I think I like this wild, barefoot, and free. I like that. I love to be barefoot, so I think that's plenty. This video is extra long. But I realized something as I was working on my pocket, which I love. I love the color, but it is no longer really going to work on that paper here that I wanted. We are going to move in to one of the book pages. This is not dyed. It's the back of that letterhead. Hopefully this video doesn't get too crazy long now that I'm playing around. But I'm going to grab, if I can find it on my messy desk, that collage medium again. You also want to make sure you have a dry brush with this. I learned that it works better with collage medium. I'm not sure about Mod Podge, but if you have a dry brush, which I didn't know that. All right, you guys, so there is my finished page. It got a little more intense than I had planned, but oh my gosh, I love it so much. And like I mentioned, I have a habit of getting bulky right off the bat, but I really don't see that as a problem if I continue to do that throughout the book, which I really might. I don't know what kind of pen or marker I need to use on this collage medium. If you guys know, please leave a comment down in the description box. I probably have found out by the time this video posts. I'm thinking I would love for all of my pages to look like this, just to have that whole watermarked look. So I don't know, we'll have to see. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will be creating at least one more video working in this collection. I want to create some journaling tags like usual, and I want to have some fun with that. So that video will probably be next, and then I imagine that I will be sharing a final flip through when I finish up the journal. There is, for those of you who are new, there is a design team that will also be creating and sharing some projects with this collection, so I will have their links in the description box down below. Please be sure to go subscribe to their channels, check them out, and let them know I sent you over. They're super creative. Everybody's style is a little different, so you'll definitely get a lot of ideas from them. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.